If you're in trouble, you want the big guns like Superman or Batman. You might even take second stringers like Plastic Man and Booster Gold. But chances are you'll never be so desperate that you call these guys. This week we're counting down Baka's top 5 worst superheroes. These are superheroes that are so pathetic that it's amazing they ever made it to print. Even more perplexing is how long some of these characters have been around.
Are you sure you don't need another hero? The Penguin's one slippery customer.
Goodbye, Aquaman.
Number 5. Maggot. A mutant created for 1997's Uncanny X-Men number 345, Maggot was a South African runaway whose mutant powers were awakened by the villain Magneto. Having been a sickly child who could not digest solid foods, Maggot's powers manifested as 2 slugs named Eenie and Meanie that could eat through nearly everything and also acted as Maggot's digestive system. That's right, his power was a couple of slugs that ate for him. When he first appeared, he aided in rescuing the X-Men from Magneto. He was welcomed onto the team with no questions asked. His key roles as an X-Man were to not be taken over by the Shadow King and to be demoted to Generation X, the X-Men's junior team. However, his tenure with this team only lasted a single issue. Maggot disappeared for many years, only to show up as a prisoner at the Neverland compound, a mutant prison camp run by the Weapon X program. In a move to show the inhumanity of Weapon X, Maggot was one of many prisoners executed for being a mutant. Maggot got one more chance to shine when he was resurrected as part of Selene's transmode army. Sadly, Maggot was so pathetic that even as a fully controlled zombie, he was completely overshadowed and left as a loose end, with no one knowing where he was or what role he got to play in the story. Number 4. Bwana Beast. You know a superhero is pretty pathetic when he's rejected by the Justice League International. First introduced in 1967's DC Comics Showcase number 66, a series known for introducing characters such as the Silver Age Flash, Adam Strange, and Hal Jordan, you would think the introduction of a Tarzan-like character who can talk to animals should be fairly successful. Well, you would be wrong. Bwana Beast, whose name sounds way too similar to Bwana Beast, was originally known as adventurer Mike Maxwell. Maxwell would don his special helmet, drink his special elixir, and slip into his special loincloth, and fight jungle crime with his trusty gorilla sidekick Juba. Needless to say, Bwana Beast was quickly forgotten, at least until Grant Morrison dug him up for his initial run on Animal Man. In a way that only Morrison can do, he brought a sense of realism and heartache to Bwana Beast, as the character journeys to America to rescue Juba, who had been captured and infected with an experimental form of anthrax. Maxwell fails to save his trusty gorilla and is infected with the anthrax himself. After being saved by Animal Man, Maxwell retires and passes on the mantle to another. Morrison brought Maxwell back again, this time as a possessed villain named the Shining Man. Doing what he should have done in the first place, Morrison killed Maxwell off. Shockingly, Bwana Beast was featured in an episode of Justice League Unlimited where he was hired by Batman to track down Wonder Woman, who had been turned into a pig. Number 3. Troll. Originally seen in the cleverly titled Image 0 Number 0, Troll was the foul-mouthed Wolverine stand-in for Rob Liefeld's comic Youngblood. He drank, he smoked, he had a creepy way with the ladies, but other than that, he didn't really do much. It was revealed that his appearance as a short, hairy man with a bad haircut was actually an illusion, with the character actually being a short, creepy blue man. His strength is slightly above a strong human, but his main power appears to have been being really old. Horribly, in a crossover that spanned all of Liefeld's Image books, Troll was one of the members of Youngblood that was turned into a woman by one of Glory's enemies. While most of the characters became stereotypically attractive women, Troll remained short, hairy, and somehow even creepier. I'm trying to find a redeeming quality, but I just can't find any. Number 2. Bouncing Boy. I imagine the audition for the Legion of Superheroes went something like this. So, Bouncing Boy, what is it that you can do? Well, I can make myself fat. Aren't you already kinda chubby? Well, yeah, but I mean I can make myself obese. Yeah. Is there anything else you can do? Well, I can bounce like a beach ball. You're hired. Created in 1961's Action Comics number 276, Bouncing Boy was a member of the Legion of Superheroes who got his powers from drinking a super plastic formula which he thought was soda pop. After hopping his way around Legion stories for a dozen years, Bouncing Boy decided to retire with his wife Duo Damsel and become a reservist and Legion trainer. His character having been completely rebooted in the crossover event 0 Hour, Chuck Tane, Bouncing Boy's alter ego, was now a Legion architect and engineer, never having gotten bouncing powers. Bouncing Boy would be seen one last time in Final Crisis Legion of Three Worlds, when he and Duplicate Damsel would make an appearance to take down the villains. For some reason, Bouncing Boy played an integral role in the Legion of Superheroes cartoon. This might have been why the show only lasted 2 seasons. Number 1. The Great Lakes Avengers. This team of superheroes is so lame that each and every member ties for the worst ever superhero. Inspired by the formation of the West Coast Avengers, this team formed when a man named Craig Hollis discovered he was immortal and took the aptly named identity Mr. Immortal. After being shot in the head by a group of thieves, Mr. Immortal formed a group of Midwestern hero wannabes and named them the Great Lakes Avengers. The team was originally made up of Mr. Immortal, Dinosaur, who appeared to be a combination of dinosaur and human with the ability to fly, Big Bertha, a supermodel who had the ability to become grossly obese and bulletproof, Flatman, who could stretch his flat body and become nearly invisible when standing at the right angle, and Doorman, who could use his body to teleport someone into the next room. After being reprimanded by Hawkeye for not only using the Avengers name, but for even wanting to be superheroes, the team had a number of misadventures in their home state of Wisconsin, even being tormented by Deadpool. In their second adventure, Dinosaur, who was probably the least lame member of the GLA, was killed and replaced by Squirrel Girl, who has the powers of a squirrel, her squirrel sidekick named Monkey Joe, and the Grasshopper, who was killed 5.8 seconds after joining the team. After learning that every member of the team is actually a mutant, they decided to rename themselves the Great Lakes X-Men. This lasts until the team is confronted by Marvel Girl, and they change their names to the Great Lakes Champions. During the Marvel Civil War, the team is one of the first in line to register and become the Great Lakes Initiative. Squirrel Girl leaves the team in order to become the nanny for Luke Cage and Jessica Jones' daughter, while they decide to revert to their original name. They were last seen during Fear Itself, where they ended up fighting Asbestos Man. So, what do you think? Are there any lamer superheroes out there? Do the Great Lakes Avengers reign supreme? Give us your list in the comments down below, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Join us next time for another of Baka's Top 5.